Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to use the infrared scanning mode on the FreeScan Combo Plus. Now it is almost identical to the FreeScan Combo original, but there's a little bit different about it. One being the 50 laser lines, you double your speed for scanning in laser mode. But what about IR mode? You can check out and compare to any of our previous videos on our YouTube channel as YouTube/VisionMiner, or just go to our website and check out the videos on there at visionminer.com/scanners. We've got all kinds of examples with all the different scanners that we sell here at VisionMiner, and it'll show you the entire workflow and how everything is going to go down so that you can make the right selection for your business. Now this is a replica of some deer antlers, but we've had a surprising amount of customers reach out with these types of objects, whether it be your trophy or just something for a museum or any kind of things. And it's an organic shape, it's very unique, and it's kind of small, so I don't want to put markers all over it. Since I'm scanning this in infrared mode using feature alignment, that's geometry alignment. It's looking at the shape and it's making sure it stays tracking based on the shape of the object. We're not going to need markers. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the markers because where we're going, we won't need those. So I'm going to go over to the software real quick and let's get it set up for scanning. So I'm going to go ahead and check, of course I am calibrated, and we'll go into infrared scanning mode. Now, I'm going to create a new project group, and you always want to be extra careful. Make sure you're saving into the right folder, and then you select your file name, which is also your project name. It's also your project folder name, and frankly, I just check this every time because you don't want to lose your scan data in some random folder in the previous scan and then be searching around for it. So just take an extra second on this step, and I'm going to call this Antlers. Now, we have the option for portrait or object mode, and portrait mode is very good at scanning humans. If you want to scan a person really, really fast, well, this is actually Cole, which was scanned on the old FreeScan Combo in about 60 seconds and then printed in multicolor, but story for another time. We do sell 3D printers here at VisionMiner. We manufacture our own, actually. Got a whole bunch of that stuff. If you're into that, definitely check out our website, visionminer.com, for all your high-temperature 3D printing needs. Moving right along, we have portrait or objects. We're going to do object, and we have medium and large objects and small objects. And it says anything larger than 200 millimeters cubed for large objects, or between 200 and 100 for small objects. I'm going to go medium-size object because I think this is probably closer to 350, 400 millimeters. So let's just try it on medium size. And so I'm going to use features for alignment, and we're going to scan at 0.5. In infrared mode, you can go down to 0.2 millimeters or 200 microns. But for the sake of this demo, we'll just keep it on default. Scan it at 0.5. All right, so then there's a couple other features. There is the brightness, obviously, but also the working distance. The working distance is basically the space in front of the scanner that is picking up data. So at 160 to 320, we're picking up data like somewhere in there. But I can change that and go all the way up to 600. So now we're picking up data from there to there, and that should give me the depth that I need to get all the details on these antlers sitting on the table. From there, I can also use the same features like local enlarged view, view lock, and plane detection. I'm going to leave all those off for now. Okay, so we're going to start at medium brightness, and we'll leave the working distance 160 to 350 and see what we do. There we go. Hit the button on the back to start. And I'm actually zoomed in too much, so let me turn off local enlarged view. There we go. Gosh, this is nuts. Look how fast that's capturing data. This is just crazy. Now this will be interesting with all these little antler spires. See if it can track based on that geometry alone. It's doing a great job, that's for sure. I don't have to worry too much about moving the object itself because that's what it's aligning on. And I'm on a flat plane table, so it shouldn't cause much issue. I move around my object. And the orientation of the scanner makes a pretty big difference, right? Sometimes you can orient it differently and get better data. And I don't have to get too much of that over there because we will flip this over and then align the two scans to get that underside of this whole object and make a solid object. I'm just going to get as much as I can. All right, let's check out the data that we got. I'll go ahead and hit pause. Go back here and look. So let's go ahead and do our classic cutting plane. I'm going to click cutting plane and then fitting the point cloud with my selection and hit create plane. Now I'm going to drag that up just a little bit. We're going to delete all that data. So now I'm going to use the connected domain tool to select part of the part and then select the whole part with connected domain and then invert, and that'll select everything that's not the part and then delete that extra data. So I go here, select my part, click connected domain, then I invert the selection and delete. And just like that, we've got the part, the whole part, and nothing but the part. Great, all right, here we go. Now, is there anything else I need to get before moving along? I would say I definitely need to get more of these upper antlers, and I'm probably gonna have to do 3 orientations on this to get really good data. So let's go ahead and generate the point clouds, and I'm going to select a new orientation. So I'm just going to give it a mostly rotation. Right there should be good, and then I can do a third one here, which should let me get more of that data. Okay, so now to make a second scan, I'm going to align later. I'm going to go into projects and create a new project group. So project group, new project, same specs, and hit apply. So now we've got a blank canvas, and I'll go ahead and just start scanning again. And every time it loses tracking, you just got to go back to another area that it's got good data at, and it'll be able to retrack and align itself with ease. Until you've got dense data points in that other area, you might just have to go back and forth a couple times on a complex object like this. I'm going to increase my scanning distance to give myself a little more leeway. See if I can get more data on those tips. Yeah, there we go. It is tracking better. There we go. We'll do the same thing again. We'll make a cutting plane, get rid of the extra data. Now I have the option to do another orientation, but let's actually align the first 2 scans first and then pinpoint where we're missing data and need to gather more, and then we can just focus on that area to save time. So in order to align it, I have to generate the point clouds. Okay, so now we'll head on over here to the Process Alignment tab, and we'll go here to Project 1, Project 2. And once again, we will use the automatic alignment function. If it fails, we always have manual alignment to back it up, but usually automatic works just fine, so we'll give that a shot. And as expected with a part like this, it's very unique geometry. It worked great. So I'll go ahead and hit next and then exit, and let's examine our data. Okay. I mean, you know, it really, there's not much missing data here. A little bit on the tips and a little bit of the insides. Oh, and on this side. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can't get those areas first. This should get everything in there. All right, I think we got everything we need. Let's check it out. Okay, so now we got our third one. I'm going to align again, Project 2, Project 3. Let's see if it automatically works. Next, we are good to go. Make sure Group 1 and that, apply. Again, good to go, and exit. So now we've got all 3 of our scans in here. I'm still missing that little inner area. That's what I'm missing. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to get the inside of these. So I'm actually going to flip it right like that. That'll get that inside area. All right, so I'm going to scan just the areas that we need. I'm going to increase that working distance slightly. Again, we know the rest of our data is good, so I can just focus on these missing spots. All right, that should be good. Let's go ahead and make the final cuts. Cutting plane. Process the point clouds. All right, back into project alignment, and I can take 3 and 4 Auto alignment works great on this one. We're looking good. Next, group that, apply that. Great, next. Apply that one with that one. Align, great. Next, and exit. So now we should have total and complete data. Select them all to make them all the same color, and then look around. We got it there, we got it there, we got it there. We're looking good. Cool. So the real way to find out now is I'm going to go and I'm going to mesh the point cloud. I'm going to connect all those polygons, put that graphics card to work. Now there's a couple ways to do this. If I wanted to 3D print this, I'm going to make a watertight model because it needs to be a watertight STL. If I wanted to reverse engineer it, I'm going to go unwatertight model because that's going to give me the most accurate data. In this case, we're probably going to take this into something like a 3D printer, so let's go ahead and do a standard filter just to smooth out the rough bits just a little bit. And then, of course, standard smoothing. I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I'm going to leave the defaults. I'm just going to do 40% simplification, see what happens, see what that ends up looking like, and remove spikes and fill small holes. Let's go ahead and hit preview, let it chunk away, and see what we're going to get before we take it to our manufacturing method. Awesome. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at it. This should be pretty darn good. Well, let's see. Okay, great. So maybe we can get a little more detail at the tips here, throughout there. We're going to go ahead and take this to watertight and preview that. When you process a watertight mesh, it's just going to fill all the holes. So you have a totally solid watertight mesh file, STL, OBJ, 3MF, and that's important before you put it into your slicer to 3D print. Now, if you're interested in 3D printers, say you wanted to make replicas of antlers like this for trophies or whatnot, this is a great application. You can scan it and take it straight into a 3D printer. Now, we also sell 3D printers here primarily for engineering purposes like Pika and Ultim and high temp stuff for aerospace, medical, oil and gas, but it'd be a great way you get a big build volume to print something like this. All right, here we go, watertight. So now if we zoom in, you can see, there it is smooth, it is very detailed. Let's confirm. All right, here's our data, here's our mesh. Fantastic. Now we could go and just export this scan. You can either save it locally on your computer or you can take it directly into XModel, which is reverse engineering software that we have available. Now, depending what you're doing, there's a lot of different scanners and there's a lot of different ways to scan. So if you're still struggling, you've seen all our videos on YouTube, seen all the different scanners that we're working with, and you still got questions, we are here to consult you. We're here to help you and answer your questions before you buy the tool because you want to make sure it's the right tool. There's a lot of tools available, and the one that get your job done the fastest and most effectively may not be the most obvious. So we consult, we're here to help. Give us a call, shoot us an email, send us some parts. We'll scan them for you and let you know how it really goes. On that note, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out our other videos and have a positive rest of your day. I'll see you on the next video.